Hi everybody, it's Sandra Ganley here and you're very welcome back to the Country Chats podcast. I'm in awe right now because it's my first podcast actually in person. I have a real person beside me and this is very exciting, and as you can see I am here with the stunning and gorgeous and fabulous Gary Gamble. Gary, how are you?
Sandra, thank you very much for having me. I don't know where to look. Do you look at us on there?
We have so many screens.
I'm delighted to be on your first live visual recording and audio, of course.
This is mad. This is my 35th podcast episode and all of them have been on Zoom and virtual. So it's my first one in person. I don't know where to look either.
I'm delighted to be a part of your fantastic podcasts, and young Gavin Gribben done a great job last week as well. So good wee pal of mine as well. And well done to Gavin, he won an award for that music video.
He did. You better tell us about the music video.
Well, I helped produce and direct it, and Gavin and the family got the band together and different things up in the hill and the mountain. It was a great day and it was a great video, and he's a great young lad and a great future ahead of him. And if anybody's never seen Gavin before, go and see him. And he's got the same initials. Oh, there's a question for Sandra. Which three country singers in the country music industry have the same initials as Gary Gamble? So there's one here and there's two more.
Gavin Gribben and Jerry Guthrie.
Hey! 10 points for Sandra.
I'm on the ball. I had it spotted before you even finished your question. So people will be wondering, why are we together?
Yes, we're currently touring with Ireland The Tour, which is a new production. It started back in 2019 and then obviously because of the pandemic never toured since. But we were delighted to work with Sandra Ganley, who's a fantastic dancer, and the other cast, which is Aisling O'Toole, another dancer, and Chloe McCarthy. And the three has got together and they really bring a different expertise and beauty and flamboyance and gorgeousness to the show. So it's absolutely great. They have a great style as well, by the way. You certainly do. And you're just super dancers. And the crack is amazing.
We're having the best crack ever.
Oh my God.
It's brilliant. And we have obviously yourself, we have Elaine, and we have Richie Remo. We've a great gang, so we're looking forward to having Richie and Elaine coming up on the podcast.
And this is day 7, I think, is it? Day 8?
Show number 7 is tonight.
No, we're in low staff tonight. Irish dancers usually have a 7th day off, don't they?
I've never worked in shows where we had a day off.
Oh, you have never?
No,
right.
I've always just worked straight.
Some Irish dancers have a day 7 off.
Some of the Irish dance tours where it would be just full on Irish dancing would, yeah.
Right.
But I've always been in a show like this one where it's a mix of everything.
Well, we are in Lowestoft now, which is on the far east coast of England and right across the waters, Amsterdam.
So we're going to head there tonight.
Oh, we're happy days. Tomorrow we're in Edmonton, then we're in the Beck Theatres in Hayes, and then we're moving to, I think it's Waterseal.
Yeah, so when this podcast comes out now, this Wednesday when this episode comes out, we'll be doing our last gig that night.
No, don't leave us.
Oh, we'll be popping up to you. Don't worry, this is not the end.
Sandra must have her head done on, folks, with me, because I've been driving the van, I've been cooking the food, and I've been roaring and garling and keeping everybody mad and their energies up, but I don't know, I just don't stop to it.
That's what you need on tour though, I think, because I think a lot of people think, when you're on tour it's a very glam life, and it is, but it's not at the same time, so we do need that bit of energy. It's not glam really, is it?
We bring our own glam with us. So Sandra Glamley and Gary Glamble. So this is, look, like there's nothing in this room, only us, and we've already glammed it up. It's sparkling, and if you're in our change room, it's so noisy up there at the moment with everyone else, but the hangers, there's beautiful dresses and clothes hanging on it, that's glam. We've got our own catering, that's glam. We've got all our own products, we've all our own healthy food. You have to be healthy on tour too.
Don't talk to me about that.
You do.
Don't talk to me about
Sometimes the band guys, they like to stop at McDonald's and we hate. Sorry, we can't say that, can we?
No, we can't.
McDonald's doesn't go.
McDonald's is not for me.
Not for me.
We've learned that out.
I don't like McDonald's because it doesn't fill you up. It's okay, there probably somebody will say, well, eat the healthy stuff, but sure, I like to just go to Asda and pick your own lettuce and your own strawberries and your own juice and orange juice and different wee things and make up your own.
Well, you've been touring for a few years, so you're used to kind of
used to cooking on the road.
So going back to that, touring for a few years, I mean, you're on the music scene now for what, nearly 20 plus years?
No, God. Do you hear her? Let me think. I started in 2004, but that was with a band.
You're not fair.
Oh, sorry, 2000. It was New Year's Eve night, 2004, so 2005, 1st of January.
And who did you start off with?
Oh, my first band was with John McGillian, Vincy Gray, Eugene McColgan, and I think it was a guy from Castlederg, or if it wasn't, it was Brian Donnelly on keyboard, but it was in Marshall's. It was Anne-Marie Blee, by the way. Sorry, and it was absolutely a fantastic night. I had my friend Jacqueline McKay on fiddle, and then we done Frankie's over Foe after that, and we done a launch night in the Milford Inn with a man called John Kerr from Donegal, who's a legend at the time.
And was this your band, or was
this is my own
this
band?
Was Gary Gamble?
Yeah, Gary Gamble and the Ramblin' Men or Gamblin' Men. No, Philomena Begley was the Ramblin' Men, and we were the Gamblin' Men. And then we went to Scotland, and I was just going to call it a day, but then we couldn't believe it. We done one gig in Scotland, which was about maybe 40 people, which was good for first time and not knowing and having a single or an album out. Then we went to the second gig, which was 100 mile away, and the people that were at the first gig, I'd say 80% of them drove to our second gig, which was nearly 100 people, and the people that was at the second gig all drove to our third gig, and we were like, what has just happened? And they just, I don't know, everyone just seemed to love the crack and the band, and you know, we just went with it, and we played what they liked to hear. And I was over the moon, and then there was 3 promoters over there, and they all rang me and said that week saying, we don't know what you done, but there's people messaging when you back and do this. And next minute I was called over to do this spot and that spot, and then ever since I've been just in Scotland. And the second time I was there was with Philomena Begley, and we were doing the Invergordon Country Music Weekend Festival, and it was absolutely amazing. And I sang with Philomena a few times before that, but we flew there, and she just loves Scotland too. And when we flew to Scotland, me and her just clicked like that. And we were friends before that only, but we just made her better friends, because she introduced me to a lot of her friends and pals. And like Philomena, when she was 20, 30 years of age, she was touring and she was staying in people's houses there. At that time it was just a little bit different, she says. And she says, oh Gary, she says, we were staying in this woman's house one night, she says, and we had a couple of wee drams, which is drinks in Scotland, way up in the Highlands. And we were having the crack with a band and that family they stayed with, which were good friends of Philomena's at that time because of through her music. They took the swords off the wall and they put them on the floor and they danced around the way you used to do a brush dance. A brush dance, like, so they danced around that, and she was telling me about that. And now that was a woman's house she danced in. Her daughter, the woman's daughter, which is called Linda, the woman's house that Philomena stayed in, now drives Philomena around the place, and also was a really good friend of my own. So Philomena introduced me to a lot of her fans over there when I was singing, and she brought me up for a few duets, and just somebody to do that, something like that means a lot. And then plus the fact you go through a stage when you start off in the singing career, even like dancing, you go to different places and venues and Irish centres to try and teach people some kind of Irish culture, tradition, or some lessons in dancing, or go there to sing. Well, I was at a stage where I was about to give up, and
I was about to ask you. You said you were going to pack it in.
We were, yeah.
Why though? Just wasn't feeling it.
We found it. No, when I'm on stage, I'm happy. I don't know what it is. There's a bug there. Everybody says, "Oh, geez, how can you travel 10 hours to a gig?" I can travel because I know at the end of it there's a stage and there's a crowd, and if they're willing to come and see us and pay to see us, well, I'm willing to travel to see them. Know what I mean? But I'm just a happier person doing that kind of job. I know it's very long hours touring, but I do love it. But we're at a stage where we're doing some of the theatres. I remember Daniel says to me, he says, well, first of all, he heard of me doing this Daniel O'Donnell impersonation. He says, what's going on? So I was invited to do my Daniel impersonation at one of his shows, which was the Kincashla Donegal Shore Festival.
And had he seen you do it, or just heard?
He didn't see, he just heard there's this bar doing Daniel O'Donnell, and Daniel wanted to hear what the crack was, so I landed to it anyway, and I couldn't believe it. Now, I was only singing in front of 80, 100, 200 people at that time, and the place was packed. So I was sitting going, I should be nervous. I know this, I wasn't. And I hadn't met the man, and I wasn't taking the piss out of him, sorry. I was impersonating a man. So I was backstage, me and my sister travelled up, and we were in there in the band, and I said to Daniel, have you a mirror? And he was like, oh, come on over here, and I'll show you a mirror. Well, Sandra, he opened this flight case, which must have been 7 foot, and it just opened out, and I was like, oh my God. Suits here, a mirror here, all these drawers, and it was just like a dressing room.
That's amazing.
What's this thing? I must get one of these. So I'll get you a mirror now. So I put the wig on me, and he held the mirror behind my head, and it just slid out. And I was like, you fixed my hair like you, Daniel. And it was wild crack. He says, you better hurry up because you're going on now. He says, well, I'm going on, but you're going on instead. So I jumped on and went on, and I think this is kind of what happened. I went on and sang with the band, and everybody thought it was Daniel. And then Daniel came on the other side, and you could see the audience kind of looking. It's very funny. We sang a few songs, and the crack was good. Then Majella came up the stage, and we hear the audience going, ooh, like this to see what Majella's blessing or verdict would be. And I said to Majella with the mic, I said, Majella, who do you prefer, the young Daniel or the old Daniel? And she took me mic and she goes, I prefer the real thing. You know? And see, after that there, Daniel said to me, how are you fixed for doing the autographs tonight so I can go home and stuff like that. And we talked and we had the crack, and I met all of his friends and fans, and he told me, whenever you're in England or Scotland or anywhere in Ireland, because there was thousands of people at it, he says, go and see this guy, Gary. He says, you shouldn't be impersonating me, you're only promoting me. He says, promote yourself. So people still wanted to see me doing that, and I'm doing it to this day.
And they still do, yeah.
So we went back to England then for the second time for some shows that we weren't going to do, but because they weren't great crowds, and we were finding it tough in England to get into we got into library centres, but we weren't just drawing the crowds. So we went back and we're kind of just disheartened and setting up the gear, and we're like, a lot of phone calls about tonight. The promoter said in the Irish Centre, Tony Flanagan in Manchester Irish Centre. I was like, are you sure, Tony? He says, it's not for us though, is it? He says, it is. He says, there's one spot tickets too. I was like, my God. The last time we were there was about 22 people. Oh. We went and we couldn't believe it, 180 something people, which was big for us then, but obviously we would probably get more than that now. Yeah. But just starting off, and every one of those people we met were like, we seen you at Daniel's concert, we seen you at Daniel's concert. Wow. So one man like Daniel and one woman like Philomena Begley helped get me into, in through the doors and meet their friends and fans. So that's what I'm saying. At the start of the conversation, I mentioned a young guy, Gavin Gribbon. And if there's anybody like that that's doing so well and just needs that extra push, it's good to just get their name out there and help them. And there's lots of great singers out there as well. Gareth Pritchard from MoMA, super guy as well.
Another good one. I mean, there's so many young people coming out onto the scene, and that's one thing that I do try and do is get them all in the podcast, because it's another way that they can get talking about themselves and get themselves out there.
A stepping stone to get noticed, to get recognised, and to get on the bandwagon. I know it's tough, but it's good, and slow and steady one's the race. The quicker you go up the ladder, the quicker you'll come down it. But just you keep going and it'll
keep
work.
Keep tipping away. You'll have bad days, good days and bad days.
Oh sure, we've had thousands of great shows, and if you had one bad show, the whole place will be chatting about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they won't chat about the good shows, but see all the bad shows. Cheers, they were in there last night, there was only 60, it wasn't great.
That's probably one of, and it could be one of the artist's best gigs. Like you just wouldn't know.
I found that I says to the guys in the band, I don't care if there's 2 people or 222 people or 2002 people, I'll still do the same show.
Yeah, that's exactly what I say about glasses. And even last night, I know at last night's gig, we looked out and the theatre was only half full, and we were kind of like, oh, it's only half full.
And that was only show though.
They were a brilliant crowd. They were a really good crowd.
All
after
up
all
on
that.
their feet at the very end, singing all our songs, and it was just amazing. I'm sure everybody that's following your social media, Sandra, or my own social media, will see that the crack's good.
The crack is
and
brilliant.
the crowds are great. So
we're happy.
I went on stage last night and I didn't even know where I was, because you're always on the go and always on the move.
It's a pure blur. We're here a week now, and it's an absolute blur as to where we were yesterday.
For me now, it's a way of life.
Are you touring more than you're at home?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was actually thinking about getting a motorhome, just because I'm on the road all the time.
Brilliant.
No, I'd have to go.
So if there's any sponsors out there that want to sponsor,
sponsor away. Yeah, we'll put your name up the side of it and we'll tell everybody about it and we'll take them all around it. So I did get one there, and sorry, I didn't buy one. I hired one just to see what it was like. Me and a fella, we went up a few years ago up the Highlands, and
were you gigging at the time?
I just took a week off just to see what it would be like. I loved it. Don't know if he liked it right enough, but there was an American fridge freezer in it. And now there was bunk beds in this one that did like that. Kind of like a lounge in the front. We can make into beds, a lounge at the back. You make into beds so that if you had a few people in, you could say, sure, lie there.
That'd be a great idea.
I know.
Especially when you're on the road, and especially when, like most shows, you'd be probably travelling 2, 3, 4 ish hours.
But then
again, you're based in Donegal.
Donegal, Tyrone area.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know if it will work or not. But sure, look, I'm going to try it for the crack.
Why not?
Why not?
You've got nothing to lose, only a few grand.
I know, right now. Well, come here. I priced one in Ireland, and it was I think it was 52,000.
Brand new.
Yeah. And then we went to England, and the same one, same year, same whole lot was something like 38,000. Went to England, yeah. So I flew to a few different places. So I am looking. Okay. But then my brother says you might buy it and just live it at the back of the house and might just lie there forever. So
this is it.
I might just buy a caravan instead.
Caravan, yeah.
But the best thing about a caravan is I was chatting to two friends of mine, and they have a motorhome a long time, and they've always been changing and upgrading motorhomes. They've stopped the motorhome thing because they just find the driving through towns and villages and car parks and stuff like that. It's too big, it's bulky. They get a caravan, go to a caravan site. Well, this is if you're doing holidays and vacations. They park the caravan and then they just unhook it and then they drive around in their car.
Yeah.
So
there's pros and cons to it all, isn't there?
Yeah, whatever tickles your fancy. So I haven't a clue.
You'll have to wait and see. The summer's coming, so
I have
you
to decide.
Yeah.
What's cheaper to buy them maybe now because it's. Let me think. Cheaper to buy. Oh no, they'll be starting to go up for the summer. I think it's September, October is the season to change or buy a caravan.
Well, over here we've a van anyway, so there's 6 of us in each van.
The party wagon.
The party wagon.
The Russell Hardy wagon.
ABBA is on the go most of the time. It's the ABBA mobile.
The ABBA mobile. Agneta mobile.
Yeah, so ABBA's on the go the whole time. But well, as well as you're singing, you also have your own comedy show.
Yes.
Which I can't wait to see.
Oh, Sandra, you have to go.
I'm already up to speed with some of the script.
Well, that's right. Elaine Boyle, who's touring on the show as well. Elaine's from Donegal, and fabulous singer.
Absolutely brilliant. She's such a lady.
You do an impersonation of Elaine. I've seen it on Snapchat or Instagram. You have to check it out. I'll put it up in mine. You can check it out on my story. But Elaine's fantastic, and she's also an actress. And she definitely is, because you should see her on stage. She's super. She always would say, I'm shy, I don't know what to say, but once she gets on, she changes. She's probably like me. I don't know where it comes from. You either have it or you don't. You have the bug for it, or you have the feel for it, or the talent. Anyway, the show's called Sorry for Your Loss. I play 2 women in it. They're sisters, but they don't speak, thank God, because then I can't meet myself. And Elaine's my elder sister, so it's Barbara, Alice and Magella. Magella is a girl who has this deadpan voice, and she talks all the time. I'm not well at the minute, and I was down the town yesterday, and I says to myself, I better go on and see the doctor. And I went down and I seen the doctor, and I says, what do I do? And he says, take a ticket, and I took a ticket, and I was standing there for an hour and a half. This is when's the doctor going to see me? He says, this isn't the doctor's, this is the butcher's. So she goes on like that. And then Barbara is just this mad woman over the top. She thinks she knows all, but she knows nothing. And then Alice is just kind of straight-laced and try to keep everything right. But they live in this wee cottage in the middle of nowhere, the town called Banyan, which is a fictional town in Ireland. You might know the songs. There is 3 lovely lassies in Banyan.
I don't know.
Banyan. I think it was Delia Murphy recorded it years ago, God rest her. And also Eileen Donaghy, God rest her. And we just 3 lovely lassies in Banyan. These are the 3 lovely lassies in the show. And they are sitting, they have a happy life, they don't want to be tortured or bothered, and they do their own things, they're set in their own wee ways. And this undertaker comes to the door and says, have you an Uncle Paddy in Australia that went away 30 years ago? He says, well, if he left here, he's not on to us now. He says, but you have to wake him here because he's your next of kin. Well, we're not waking him here. He says, so get out. Like, we don't want no bothers, or no dead bodies, or no coffins, or wakes in here. I says, look, but this man has an inheritance. Inheritance? Oh, bring him in, we'll wake him. So this is how the story starts. And then it's just a laugh a minute straight through right to the end. And there's a twist then at the very end, and a wee plot of whatever happened. It's just mad, mayhem. And they even pulled Paddy out of the coffin, which is awful.
Lovely.
But the audience just fall apart laughing. It's just crazy. So we are in Galway on May the 20th of 2022, in case you're listening to this broadcast in 2048. And we're looking forward to that show. It's in the Town Hall Theatre. THT.ie is the website in Galway. Sandra Ganley's going to be our special guest on stage that night. She doesn't know yet, but she will be. And yes, and if there's anybody listening to the show that would like to
free tickets.
Free tickets, we'll give 2 away as part of your broadcast.
Well, we can. There we go, guys.
There you go, folks. All you got to do is send Sandra Ganley an email or a message or some kind of something.
Something to let us know.
We'll ask them a question.
Right,
see if they're listening.
Yeah.
The question is, what is the name of our uncle in Sorry for Your Loss that we have to wake to get the inheritance?
There we go. So send us a message here on the Instagram or the Facebook page, or find the podcast here. Give us a message, and we'll give away 2 free tickets.
There you go. Now that's good to you. And there's one for everybody who sends an email.
Who sends an email?
And gets the answer right.
Yeah, and gets the answer right, and we pick who we want.
Only 2 people. Only 2 people. Not everybody.
Yeah.
I was going to do a gay burn on it there.
No, we'll sort that out. So we'll see then who's listening. There we go. Well, thank you very much, Gary, for that. What was I going to say? I was going to ask you, how long is that show on the road, or was that a pre-COVID or?
Oh God, I wrote that in 2017 with Sinead McAteer and Claire Dunbar, and we had help with Aid McKay from Strabane. And we just developed it slowly, and we chopped and changed and took it apart. And it's an Irish week, and we've been in Glasgow, the Royal Concert Hall in Glasgow, Birmingham Irish Theatre. We've been to London with the show. We've been all over Ireland. We have another, I think it's 15 dates this year. Well, obviously we couldn't tour in 2021 and 2020 because of the COVID. But our first 7 shows were all sellouts.
That was before COVID.
Absolutely amazing, and we were just shocked. Nathan went to it, Lisa McHugh went to it, Olivia Douglas has been to it, Magella O'Donnell, Daniel wants to go to it, Kathy Durkin's been to it, Jim Devine's been to it, so many country singers. So what we do, Hugo Duncan's been to it, Sean Cuddy's been to it, Curtis McGee's been to it, sorry, I was just thinking, we take their photographs of all singers who's been to the show and put them on the set. And spilled it up. Paul McCahill, another Donegal singer, good friend of mine, he's been to it as well.
That's fab.
Yeah, so if you're a singer and you want to come to the show, get in touch, because as you know, at an Irish week, we love to have a sing song, and what we do when someone's in the audience is we bring them on stage to sing a song.
Or do a dance.
Or do a dance. Sandra Ganley will be dancing at the wake, so if you'd like to see her dancing at the wake, do for the crack. And there's a twist, because they actually get a little small script before they come on the stage.
Oh, Jesus. I'm even learning more about the show now that I'm chatting to you here.
God help you. And there's people dying now, never died before, so.
Yeah, that's the reality of it, isn't it? Oh, stop. So that's the show. So there you go. Enter the competition. You know about the show now.
Yeah, all our dates are on jmgmusicgroup.com or sorryforyourloss.co.uk or garygambleshow.com.
There's a few things for you to go and look at, and actually on JMG website you can also find the show details for the current show that we're on, Ireland the show, and that is touring again during the summer, so you can check that out. It sounds like we're not going yet, because I still have a few questions for
you. Where are we going?
Well, like, we're not leaving the podcast yet.
No,
it sounded like we were finishing up there telling everyone to go and
No,
we've a while to go yet, because did you know there's a quick fire round?
Good. Have you questions for us?
All right, I'll show you. Right. I can't show you. I actually did write them out, because with being on tour, my mind isn't as sharp as it normally is when I'm sitting at home in the office. So, quick fire round with Gary Gamble.
Apologies in advance.
Are you nervous?
The last one I done I cursed. But
so it's first answer only, and we'll just see what happens. They're totally random. You're gorgeous. You're fine. Right. Question number 1. Quick fire round. Can you dance?
Yes.
In what capacity?
Jive, a little bit of Irish dance and waltz.
Actually, you can Irish dance, because you do a bit in the show.
Yeah. Treble up.
Yes. He does. No, he can dance. We do know that much. Okay. Best venue you've ever gigged in?
Oh, best venue I've ever gigged in. That's tough, because I like them all, but is there one I like?
Is there any one that sticks out, or any gig that sticks out?
Best. I think it was Canada in the Holy Heart Theatre in Newfoundland. I love that.
Was it an Irish festival?
It was me and the band, and our special guest was Anne-Marie O'Riordan, and it was with Unicorn Promotions. And Leo Podester, God rest him, was the promoter, and it's a 1,500 seated theatre, and we had 952 people, and that was in November 13th, 2018.
You have some memory.
It's crazy, I know.
The way you remember names.
And I met so many people, and so many fans and friends, and and I know they're probably going to tune into you, because I'm going to share this stuff out of this.
Share this stuff. Well, thank you.
Share the sugar out of it.
So that was your best gig, so in Canada.
I loved it. Yeah, I like Canada. I love Ireland. Love England, but it's not the people. It's the people. It's not just. It was just the theatre and the way it was shaped and the way the sound and the acoustics. I know it's echoey in here, but it just says, wow, I like this theatre.
Yeah.
I know obviously I haven't played all the theatres in the world, but that's the plan.
That one sticks out. That's the plan, yeah. World
the Holy Heart Theatre, and it was a nice wee theatre. And I remember that night we played there. Ron Hynes, that wrote the song Sonny, Don't Go Away, I'm Here, he died just after our show, and Ron is actually from that area.
Ah, okay.
So St John's in Newfoundland.
St. John's, Newfoundland. There we go.
Oh, God rest him. That was a great song too.
It is a nice song.
Right, sorry. Quick
So
fire.
moving on, what's your favourite song to sing?
Favorite song to sing. I like Hello Darling. And I also like Sweet 16.
Oh yeah.
I like the wee slow ones. But I don't know if I'm great singing them, but I do them anyway.
You do tweet them. What's your favourite song to listen to? Now I'm going to venture for ABBA here, but anything from ABBA.
See, I love every song.
You do have an awful eclectic mix on that. In that.
Well, Enya is what I would listen to a lot. How do you find your top list songs on this?
On Spotify? I don't know.
Can you do that? No. I know they know at the end of the year they do it, don't they?
Yeah, you might be able to get it now. If you go into your playlist, go into so for anyone that doesn't know what we're at, we're here looking at Gary's Spotify.
Oh, that's right. You can't all see. Enya.
Yeah, if you go in here and you go search.
Oh, I'm offline.
He's on flight mode, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, hell.
Anyway, Enya and ABBA.
Enya. I like dance music.
Yes.
I listen a lot to dance music as well. I like a wee bit of ABBA.
Which is so different.
But you know why I like
what
ABBA?
You actually
Mama Cass.
To the genre you work in.
I know. Oh, I know. But you see, I listen to country music when I'm trying to look for new stuff. Like if a new country album I'm working on at the minute, which is I'm doing a double album, believe it or not. New stuff, some original, some of my own, and then me and Elaine's working on a separate project, which is for a dance, pop genre thing, but it's totally different from country music. But I listen to a lot of dance. I love the patterns, love the music as well, and then I like Enya and all the slow music and tranquil music and peaceful music, and it grounds you, I think, so takes you away from reality for a while.
But most singers, I find, most people I interview listen to so many different genres.
Oh, yeah, I listen to everything. I could be listening to rock one minute, slow music next minute, mad music, pop, country, everything. Cuckoo clock, just.
But that's how you get all your inspiration then for different bits.
I know, and then I've got a bit of a studio built now. Sorry, I built a recording studio. Sorry, I'm not a bit of a studio. I built a recording studio, and it's a fully functional studio for vocals and music. And I had Olivia Douglas in there last week before we came on tour, and me and her were just putting down tracks and all. And I've recorded one, and I've actually got it with me, part like the interface of some of the computers, so I can record. And Ronnie's going to put down some instrument work for me, and so is David and James and Liam as well. So.
Brilliant. Yeah, we've had Olivia on the podcast before. God, it was back in I think series 2.
She's some crack.
She's lovely, absolutely lovely girl. So next, can you play the instruments?
Yes. It can be bass, drums, bagpipes, piano, guitar, acoustic guitar, bass guitar, tin whistle, recorder, accordion, something else. And guess what? I don't play one on the stage.
Yeah, you just sing. I couldn't believe it when I heard all that.
I know.
And how did you learn all that?
Just from when I was a kid. My first instrument was drums, then I had an accordion, and then I had, I think it was a piano, and then a guitar, and then
can you
bass.
play them all proficiently, like?
Yeah. Play them away, and it's actually surprised some singers and artists because they're like, how the hell do you know that? I was like, I just play away at the house and play guitar and play bass, and like, that's very good. I let Ronnie hear my bass notes the last night. He's like, did you do that? He's like,
do you ever play in any of your gigs?
Nothing live.
Why?
Don't know. I feel like it can throw me if I'm doing my vocals, so I like to concentrate and hear my notes in my head. But then I've found that when I'm singing with the bass, I kind of tend to go, let my vocal kind of relax more and focus more on those. So I'm going, I've got a never-ending love for you.
You're
and then when I'm singing without it, I'm going, I've got a never-ending. So it's like, I can't multitask.
That makes sense. Yeah. No, that does make sense. So who is your favourite American country music singer?
Loretta Lynn.
What would you say her?
Shania Twain.
Good call. Who's your favourite Irish country music singer?
Philomena Bagley. Does have to be Philly,
yeah.
Philly and Louise Morrissey, great singer too as well. I would be Philomena and Louise. I like all those kind of high range tones, and I can hear them distinctively. And I toured with Philomena, as I said earlier, and toured with Louise Morrissey. We done America a few years ago for 3 weeks, and just listening to her and her vocals. Oh my goodness, it's just. When she sings, just you'd hear a pin drop. Yeah. Have you interviewed her?
Crystal clear, no.
Oh, Louise, Sandra Gandy's looking for you. I must ring her now in a wee minute for the crack.
Don't ring her while we're recording.
Why not?
After.
I should, by the way.
No.
Oh, wait.
Would you stop?
I want for the crack. Louise, get out of your bed.
You're a bad influence compliments on this podcast. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
it's good crack.
Oh, you're hilarious. Tell us something we don't know about you. Now, you've already told us that you play all these instruments, which many people would not know. So come on now, tell us a wee secret now.
Tell us something I don't know about me.
Have you any hobbies? Other hobbies?
I love going walking. I love photography. A lot of people don't know that I do make music videos for.
That's a recent enough project, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about actually. I've done the most recent stuff I've done for Brendan Shine. I'm doing stuff for I've done stuff for Lubba Douglas. Sorry, during the pandemic. Who else? I've loads. Curtis McGee. I've done his brand new DVD, which is 12 songs. I've done Richie Remo's video, Joe Moore's. And so many, I can't
John
even remember. John McNichol's brand new one at the moment. Sorry, folks. Irish Heart, amazing video. Well done, John. We've also done John's last video with his sister as well. And there was one on during the week, and somebody says, "Wonder who done that?" And I says, "Oh God, will I tell them?" I don't think I did, but it was me. It was on TV. Who was it now? Colin Harney. Do you know Colin Harney? No, great singer, great guy. Down to earth, he done a tribute to Brian Call.
Oh, okay.
And my dad phoned me and says, "Hi, sure, that's a good video there. Your man Brian Call's on it and featured not Colin Harney. That's a good video. You should be doing stuff like that." And I says, "Daddy, I did do that." So that was funny. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing. I don't like Flavins as well, and one with him and Joe Moore, and Declan Early's looking for one done. I'm doing Sean Cuddy's when I go home.
What do Declan's?
Oh, I
Declan's
can't wait.
my favourite.
Oh, he's mad.
He's my number one.
Declan Early's Hooli in the Sun has to be one of my favourites.
Is it?
Oh, Declan Early's Hooli in the Sun was the first one I've ever been on.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and Brian Call flew to it and flew home, and Brian Call went to Scotland and England a few times with me, and I'd done a few shows with him in Ireland, and he was just a gentleman. I can still hear him in my head chatting, because when me and him got together, we just talked and talked and talked and talked. And you know me, so I'm
Yeah,
shut
never
up.
stop. Tell people about your Blackpool weekend.
Oh, we are going to Blackpool. It's called, I do this thing on Facebook called Ramble with Gamble.
You've done today's one.
I just go live and show everybody where we are, because there's some people sitting at home and maybe they can't go out, or maybe they don't want to go out. And I know I have a few friends that just want to see everything on Facebook and look all the time, so I feel like I'm kind of just opening up a wee world and showing, here where I am today, look, and there's this one and that one. I tell a few jokes, maybe sing a few songs, show them Sandra Ganley's with me or somebody else is with me, and have the crack. It's called Ramble with Gamble, so we decided to call our getaways to Blackpool, Glasgow or Killarney or wherever we're going to Ramble with Gamble. Ramble with Gamble takes us to Blackpool with Robert Mazzell, Paddy O'Brien, Sean Cuddy, Owen Mack, Elaine Boyle, Paul McCahill, Slim Attraction and many, many more. And if anybody wants to go, it's on the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th of April. And there's 7 rooms left, and by the time you hear this podcast, it'll probably be booked out. But if you want to check it out, countrymusictours.ie and ask for Sharon Kelly. She'll look after you, and for a wee discount, just mention Sandra Ganley. I know Sandra Ganley.
I've never been a discount code before. I'm honoured to be a discount code.
I can just hear Sharon. "Hello, I heard the podcast. I have to mention Sandra Ganley." She'll go, "What are you on about?"
Yeah. The only feelings I've had with Sharon is I was on Boogie on the Bravo.
Hi.
Yeah, with
That's
Robert
her.
a few years ago, and Sharon would have been booking us in.
Hello, Sharon.
I have one more question. It was kind of a double-ended question. I want to know your pros and cons of the country music scene.
Let me think. Oh God. I don't know.
The pros are really easy, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many pros, but what's the cons? Because as we said at the start of the podcast, it's great being on tour and in theatres every night, but it's not all glam. It isn't. It isn't all glam.
I love the travelling. I do. I always love travelling. I've even got itchy feet sitting here now because
You're static for too
Edmonton.
long.
I'm looking forward to checking out what Edmonton's like tomorrow. I can't wait to see what it's like. But sometimes I do find, like today, I'm a little bit tired, but I'm okay. I'm still going. But what happens when you get tired is your voice starts getting, and you know yourself as a dancer, Sandra.
Yeah, the legs.
Your legs start going.
Yeah.
So we need probably more hours in bed.
Yeah.
You know, not us, but together. I mean, in our separate rooms. Me and Sandra need to go to bed, folks.
Yeah, we need to go down and ask.
Sorry, all the band and all the cast and all the crew and dancers and singers, we all need to get to bed. We're up at 9, maybe in the morning, 10 away, sometimes 11, and we're not getting to bed at 1:30, setting at 2, up again in the morning. So it's tough out of life. And we try to get a sleep backstage.
I've been yawning. I'm naturally yawning thinking about it.
I have been yawning today as well,
Yeah.
so that's all I do.
So we better go because Gary is great for bringing. So Gary has a steamer with him, and he does the dinner for us every night. So he has potatoes and sweet corn and broccoli and what else?
Well, sweet corn. Well, I can make a salad for everybody. I have baby tomatoes, onions, or pickled onions, and we have beetroot, and we have lettuce. And we have Branson pickles, that's a wee side salad. And then you can have your baby boiled potatoes, your broccoli, your carrot, your cauliflower, chickpeas if you wanted, or you could steam some salmon in a tin foil, which I don't eat, but I don't eat meat, as you know, vegan. I was going to say virgin, vegan. And then we have sweet corn in there, and peas, and there's loads of stuff you can do to steamer.
Yeah, and it's
the guys eat tuna. Oh, it does, sure.
Yeah, because I suppose the hardest thing I find about tours, fair enough, the breakfast is generally included, but it's the lunch and the dinner.
Did we lost the screen now?
Our Zoom is gone, but we're all right here. It's the eating out is kind of the most expensive part and that kind of thing. So yeah, it is.
It is. So folks, if you're going on the road, even on a holiday, or going touring, or you're going to check out an area for, I don't know, for singing, or you're going on tour, you're probably thinking, you're probably going to spend 35 quid easy a day. If you go to a restaurant, £14 for a bite to eat, drinks maybe another 19, and then go up the shop, coffee £2, £6.
Mickey D's on the way home.
Mickey D's on the way home, there's 30 quid. So what we do is we get a breakfast in the morning free, and then we have £3.85 fed 7 people on our tour one night.
There you go.
So 2 bags of potatoes, baby balls, which went on the steamer, were £1.50 for the 2 bags. And we also had sweet corn, which was 24p, 48p for our peas, and our broccoli and our gravy was another, I think it was 20 odd p or 30p, something like that. But it just died. Just go down and get your vegetables, and everybody loved it. And we had salt and butter already there, and I have the plates and forks, and so there you go.
And everyone's happy.
And some people on the tour have spent a lot of money eating out, but the cool guys of the tour, like us, Sandra, we have just saved a lot of money.
Well, I've been half and half. I've enjoyed my eating out, but I have had a few spuds.
But Monday, tomorrow, is non-steaming day. There'll be no cooking tomorrow.
Really? You're taking the day off?
That's the only day I take off, a Monday.
Really?
And then, so it's eating out tomorrow for me. So I might go to, if there's a Nando's in Edmonton, I'll go to Nando's because they do a good vegan chickpea burger.
And it's healthy too.
True. Yeah. I don't mind cooking out.
So if anyone is around Edmonton on Monday, you'll find Gary and Nando's.
Yes, I'll be there doing a Ramble We Gamble, and also, come here, by the way, you're going to be over here checking out some Irish centres for your dancing.
I am, yeah. So during the summer I plan to do a social dancing workshop. For those that might be new to the podcast, I am a social dance teacher, full-time social dance teacher, and I run Jive and Juniors Dance School. So I am hoping to do a few workshops over here in the UK during the summer, and that's the plan. So I'm in the middle of sorting all that out, and we'll have to see what happens. What
happened? The computer here in the background?
Yeah, so
it died.
I think it did die. So we had Zoom here on as well, and that seems to have gone bust. But
it's converting. So if we get the charger into it, it might work now.
We're all over the shop.
So this is the last for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So can I sing a song?
You can sing a song if you
want. Come here, since it's St. Patrick's Day now in a couple of days' time, we'll do 40 Shades of Green. Or Hegel or St. Patrick, you pick.
40 Shades of Green.
Right. I close my eyes and picture the emerald of the sea, from the fishing boats at Dingle to the shores of Donnelly. I miss the River Shannon and the folks at Skibbereen, the moorlands and their meadows with their 40 shades of green. But most of all I miss a girl in Tipperary town. But most of all I miss her lips as soft as eider down. Again I want to see and do the things we've done and seen, where the breeze is sweet as Shalimar, and there's 40 shades of green. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Sandra, and all your listeners, and thanks for having me on. And that song was written by Johnny Cash, who toured Ireland one time and just fell in love with our wee country.
I'm so relaxed right now.
Yay.
That was fab.
Did you enjoy that?
That was so
Oh,
relaxing.
Hello, Mammy Martina. How do you get it up there?
Well, my mum has been enjoying watching Gary and following Gary and myself on tour. So yes, hello, mum. And I'm totally relaxed after listening to that song.
Therapeutic. I'm meant to be mad.
I'm telling you, therapeutic. We better go because you know what? There's things to do. There's food to be cooked.
Yay!
There is. What else do we have to do? We have to get dolled up. And we have to, what else? Warm up and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we have to get the curtains down, find out where we're standing, get a positioning, and I have to learn the last part of the dance, which is treble and treble.
Yeah, it's
and
only
treble
night
and
seven.
Up, treble
it's only
and
night
treble
seven.
and treble and up and treble and back and treble and 1, 2, 3.
And then bring it out.
Switch.
You switch.
And then toe up,
Yeah.
down, 2, 3.
Yes, now we have it.
I'm a
So you just
pro
have to
now.
do it now on your feet instead of your hands. And he's up. And he's up. Right. I think it's time to go because this fella's up off the chair now. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in to the Country Chats podcast. This one was a bit different because for the first time I am in person with one of my guests. And make sure you go and check out Gary on Facebook and Instagram. He's great
And
for
further
us.
and skither.
And all that jazz. He's great for his ramble with Gamble. So
And
keep an
chaps,
eye on them and go and check out his show as well. Sorry for your loss. And that's it from ourselves here in the UK.
We love you, everybody.
There we go, guys. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Country Chats podcast. As always, mind yourselves, stay safe, and I'll chat to you soon.
And
Slán.
stop fighting.
Slán, guys.
Slán agus ballad.